Hey everyone, welcome back to Class Bites. We loved sharing the Great Chilean Earthquake and the Thera volcano eruption with you. Our next topic is how natural resources influence the economic development of countries. Don't miss a thing. If you want more quick, easy, and useful lessons like this, please subscribe. Your support helps us keep learning simple. Grab a few minutes and let's start learning together. Natural resources shape the economic development of countries by providing the raw materials, energy sources, and environmental conditions that support production, trade, and long-term growth. When a country has resources such as fertile soil, abundant fresh water, forests, minerals, or energy reserves, it gains a foundation on which industries can be built. These resources often help lower production costs, attract investment, and create jobs because businesses prefer to operate in places where essential inputs are readily available. For example, a country with rich farmland can establish strong agricultural sectors, while one with large deposits of minerals can build mining industries that supply both local manufacturers and global markets. In this sense, natural resources act as an initial engine that sets economic activity in motion and gives countries a competitive advantage. However, the mere presence of resources does not guarantee prosperity. What matters even more is how these resources are managed, distributed, and transformed into lasting economic value. Some countries use their resources to develop efficient industries, improve education, and invest in new technologies. When this happens, resources become a stepping stone from basic extraction to advanced forms of production, such as manufacturing or high-tech services. Over time, this process broadens the economy, reduces reliance on a single sector, and makes growth more stable. Other countries struggle because their resource wealth is mismanaged, controlled by narrow groups, or treated as a source of short-term gain rather than long-term development. In those situations, resource income may create sudden spikes in national wealth, but fails to improve the lives of most citizens or strengthen the overall economy. The level of diversification a country achieves plays a critical role in determining whether natural resources help or hinder progress. When a country depends heavily on one or two major resources, its economy becomes vulnerable to fluctuations in global prices. If the value of those resources drops, the country may face reduced revenue, job losses, and instability. Countries that use resource income to support education, infrastructure, innovation, and entrepreneurial development tend to avoid these problems. By building multiple sectors, they ensure that even when one industry weakens, others can sustain growth. A diversified economy also encourages adaptation because workers and businesses have opportunities to develop new skills and explore new markets. Natural resources influence international relations as well. Countries that hold valuable materials such as oil, natural gas, or strategic minerals often gain geopolitical importance. Their resources can attract foreign investment, create partnerships, or give them leverage in trade negotiations. This increased global relevance can help secure funding, technology transfers, and expanded access to other markets. At the same time, reliance on external partners for extraction, processing, or transportation can limit a country's control over its own resources, especially if foreign companies dominate operations. The challenge is to balance cooperation with sovereignty so that resource wealth serves the public interest rather than external parties alone. Environmental conditions linked to natural resources also shape development. Fertile land and predictable climates support agriculture, while clean water and forest ecosystems provide food, energy, and protection against natural hazards.
When these systems are preserved, they create sustainable economic opportunities. When they are overused or damaged, the costs of environmental decline can outweigh the benefits of short-term exploitation. For instance, heavy mining or poorly managed farming can degrade soil, pollute rivers, or destroy forests, ultimately weakening the very sectors that depend on them. Sustainable resource management is therefore essential for long-lasting growth. Human capital interacts deeply with natural resources. A country that invests in skills, education, and technology can extract more value from the same amount of resources than one that does not. Skilled workers can develop new techniques, improve efficiency, and create industries that transform raw materials into higher value products. Without such investment, countries may remain stuck in low-value stages of production, exporting raw materials while importing finished goods at higher prices. This gap limits economic stability and reduces the ability to compete globally. The combination of resource availability and strong human development creates a powerful cycle in which each strengthens the other. Governance is another decisive factor. Transparent institutions, fair laws, and accountable management increase the likelihood that resources will contribute to broad economic progress rather than benefit only a select few. When governments use resource income to improve public services, build infrastructure, and support innovative industries, economic development accelerates. When corruption or weak oversight prevails, resource wealth can instead fuel inequality, conflict, and misallocation of funds. Because resources often generate large amounts of revenue, they require strong systems of oversight to ensure they're used to support long-term goals. Trade patterns emerge from resource availability. Countries rich in certain materials tend to specialize in exporting them, shaping their role in the global economy. This specialization can create steady income and help build expertise in specific industries, but it can also limit economic flexibility if the country becomes too focused on exporting raw materials. Transforming those materials locally into finished goods can increase income, strengthen domestic industries, and create more skilled jobs. In this way, the path from raw resource to processed product becomes a key driver of development. In essence, natural resources influence the economic development of countries by offering both opportunities and challenges. They provide the foundation for early growth, connect nations to global markets, and shape long-term industrial strategies. Yet their true impact depends on thoughtful management, diversification, investment in people, and environmental stewardship. When countries treat their resources as a shared asset that must be protected, expanded, and wisely used, those resources become a powerful force for prosperity. When handled without care or foresight, they can hinder development and deepen instability. The difference lies not in the resources themselves, but in the choices made about how they are used.
That's it for today's Bite of Knowledge. If you enjoyed this video, let us know what you want to learn next down in the comments. And hey, hit that like button and subscribe to Class Bites so you can keep learning and improving a little every day.